Hey guys, hi, I am back with Heredity and Evolution second part. Right, in the first lecture or first session we saw what is heredity, then we saw what is evolution, and we moved on to see what are the various terms used in this chapter. And I told you what is DNA, what is the gene, what's a allele, and we discussed what is homozygous alleles, what are heterozygous alleles. Okay, so we discussed basically homozygous chromosomes and heterozygous chromosomes. We discussed all these things in our last lecture. Okay, and we discussed the Mendel's experiment also, right? Father of genetics, and I told you he gave certain laws. What were the laws? Yes, please. Law of dominance, law of segregation, law of independent assortment. So I discussed all these things with you people in the last class. If you have not seen them, please go back and watch it on our channel. I request you people, trust me, whatever content I was giving you in my earlier sessions also, they are very much enriched. Okay, there's a high probability you will get maximum questions from these topics or basically whatever I have discussed in these sections. Okay, and one more thing, students have been asking whether the diagrams which I am teaching you, can you draw it in the board exams or not? People, it's up to you. If you are really good with diagrams, you're all artistic, if you can draw better than what I have drawn, you go ahead with it. Okay, whatever I am teaching is for those people who are bad artists like me. Okay, who cannot draw diagrams. So whatever diagrams I have taught is for those people who find it very difficult to draw it. So I have just made it simpler for them. It's a hack basically. Okay, if you can draw a better diagram, go ahead with it. But yeah, if you have no other way and you're gonna leave that question, please adopt my diagram. Trust me, you will get marks. Out of 5, at least 3 or 4 you will get. But yeah, you need to label them properly. Okay, draw them properly and label them properly. As I told you, if you can draw a better diagram, you can replicate what is there in the book, well and good. You'll get 5 out of 5 in that case. Okay, but if you're drawing the diagrams, and whatever I am drawing, you won't be able to replicate the same thing. You'll add your artistic features in that. I know. Okay, so it's just a representation of what we will be doing there. Okay, so please, whatever I am drawing, if you can incorporate it, it's good. If you can draw better, very well, I would appreciate it. But the diagram which I am teaching is for those people who get scared of diagrams and who are very bad at drawing. Okay, like me. Okay, I'm bad at drawing. But yeah, but we need to manage that, right? We need to draw it. A diagram is a must. In biology, if you don't draw diagrams, you lose out on your 3-4 marks. Diagram is a must. Labeling is the most important part. You should know what is the vas deferens, what is the urethra. Okay, that is the most important part. What I as a teacher, I would see whether student knows what's a kidney. He knows what is ureters. Does he know what's the urinary bladder? Does he know what is the urethra? I want to see that. It is not an art exam. Okay, how beautiful he has drawn. Yeah, in case you draw, obviously I'll award with you marks. If it pleases my eyes, I would definitely give you more marks. That's for sure. But for people who have no other go, who are like, sir, how do I draw this? For those people, you can put these diagrams. Okay, you'll be awarded with marks. Okay, no need to worry about that. And trust me, 70-80% of the students are like me, who find it difficult to draw diagrams. Okay, chalo. So that's what that, and plus, yeah, I'll try to incorporate more concepts and more, topics as comprehensively as possible. Okay, chalo. So yeah, so forget this question for now, and I'll discuss more of the topic. So we were done with heredity. So let me discuss evolution with you. What do you mean by evolution, people? Yes? Yes, please? Yeah, it is process through which simple organism got converted into complex form. Simple organism got converted into complex form. Right? Simple got converted into complex Now what do I mean by that? You know what happened when Earth was formed? There was no life on it. Earth was formed, there was no life on it. Life originated as a single cell. How did life originate? As a single cell. Single cell se it became, you know, what? Multicellular, hai na? Then what happened? Complex human beings. Complex, we are very complex. Me, my dog, and a cat. All these are very complex organisms as compared to a bacteria, simple bacterial cell, right? It's just this. It's a bacteria. Whereas we have trillions of such cells inside our body. See your brain, it's so complicated. Electrical impulses are traveling inside you. Right? So we have evolved. So did we evolve in 1 or 2 days? Or 10 years, 100 years? No. It took millions and millions of years ago. Okay, millions of years for us to stand over here. Apes. We have evolved from apes. You would have studied that, right? The first slide may. See, we have evolved from apes. This itself took millions of years. Okay, early man, they had very limited capacity of their brain. They were hunting using, you know, primitive tools. Now we have guns. We have what? What guns, bombs, fighter jets, right? You know, supersonic, ultrasonic missiles, nuclear missiles. So we are fighting in a different range altogether. Okay, so how did this take place? It took place very slowly over millions of years. Okay, that is evolution. You would have heard of, you know, Jurassic period, dinosaurs and all were there before us. Imagine if a dinosaur is roaming here and there, it will come and eat us all, right? So evolution has taken place. So yeah. Okay, so evolution, as I told you, it's from simple to complex life form. It took place over millions of years. But how do I study evolution? How did I get to know that evolution has taken place? There must be something, right? Scientists say that evolution has taken place. Who told scientists? Various evidences. There are various evidences of evolution. We'll study them. You would have studied about homologous organs, analogous organs. Then you would have also studied about fossils. Then there's vestigial organs. Then there are embryonic evidences. We scientists, people who study science, we believe only on evidences. Okay, if someone tells me, I won't believe it. Okay, I won't believe it unless until you show me an evidence. So scientists have found evidence of evolution. You would have heard of Archaeopteryx, right? It's a bird which has features of reptiles also. So how is it possible? It means that birds have evolved from reptiles, right? So these are all evidences. We study about them. So that's the whole thing about evolution. Okay, beta. Chalo, let's see. Now talking about when we study evolution, right? There are various theories of evolution. There are various theories of evolution. Okay, now what do I mean by theories of evolution? There were various scientists who said evolution would have taken place because of this, or evolution would have taken place because of this. Okay, so they gave various theories of evolution. So we'll just see two theories. Okay, the first one is Lamarckism. Okay, the first theory of evolution is Lamarckism. Okay, now what happened in Lamarckism? Lamarck was a scientist. What did he say? He said use and disuse of an organ or use and disuse of a character or a trait leads to its passing on to the next generation. Now what did he mean by that? For example, I'll give you an example. What happened? He said deer. You know deer? Yeah, Barasingha and all. So giraffes, you know, the one with the long neck. So all the giraffes were initially small like deer only. So what they used to do, they used to feed on grasses. है ना? Later on what happened? The grass got over on the floor. Now the deer, you know, the deer has to what? Extend its neck to reach on the what? Reach the leaves of the big plants. So now what happened? The deer started extending their neck slowly and steadily. What happened? Over millions of years, what happened? The giraffe got such a big neck. This is what Lamarck said. Okay, so sir, this can't happen. Okay, even he was proved wrong. Okay, but there was some substance in it. Okay, if you keep on using your organ, it will develop. That's what he said. Thus, what happened? The increased neck passed on to the next generation. Next generation, little bit it increased. Then another generation, little. So over millions of years, what happened? Giraffe got such a big neck. From deer shape, it got a big neck so that it can eat the leaves easily. That's what Lamarck said. But one more scientist called as August Wiesman. Yes, people. You know August Wiesman, what did he do? Yes, please. Yes, August Wiesman proved Lamarckism as wrong. But how did he do that? He cut tail of mice for He cut tail of mice for 21 generations. A mice was born, he cut it, then he made it breed, then again he cut the tail of a mice. He did it for 21 generations. But what happened? A tailless mice was never born. A tailless mice was never born. So mice was not using its tail because he cut it as soon as it was born. He did it for 21 generations, but still, tailless mice was the tailless mice was not born. So what did this prove? This proved Lamarckism is wrong. So we say August Wiesman proved Lamarckism was wrong. Okay. Chalo, very important, but it might come in the exam. Chalo, let's see the next theory. Next theory you would be very aware of what? Darwin's theory. Yeah, Darwin's theory. Okay, Darwin's theory, also known as of natural Darwin's theory of natural selection. Okay, please can you tell me what did Darwin say? Yes, people? Yeah, Darwin's theory of natural selection. What did he say in this? I'll tell you. Okay, very, very good theory. It is accepted widely. What did he say? He said, organisms reproduce, and they increase in numbers. Organisms reproduce and they increase in numbers. Okay, but their total number remains constant. New organisms are produced, but the total number remains constant. Why? Because there is There is fight for the resources among the organisms. Okay, now what happens because of this fight? Okay, now what happens? There are variations among organisms of the same species. Now what do I mean by variation among the organism of the same species? Say I am different. Okay, है ना? Similarly, Harsh sir is different, Abhishek sir is different, Nazma ma'am is different. We are all same species, human species, but we have certain variations. Okay, now this variation will help us to survive over the other human species. You must be different from your friend must be different from other people, right? Everyone is little bit different from each other. Okay, whoever has a variation which helps him to survive will be passed on to the next generation. Are you able to follow what I am trying to tell you, people? Yes? Okay, there exists variation within organisms of the same species. Okay, this helps in what? Helps in survival of the fittest. Are you able to follow? Variation exists, whoever is fittest will survive, and we call it as natural selection. What do I call it as? Natural selection. Are you able to follow? And whatever organism is selected by nature passes on his characters to the next generation. So my character will be passed on to the next generation. So my character will survive for a longer period of time. So I'll be the fittest. So people, all you students are fittest. Nature has selected you people over billions of years. So see how evolved you people are. And you are all worried about some simple board exams. Okay, trust me, board exams are nothing. Okay, board mark sheets are lying for our, like I did really good, other teachers also did really good. What happens is, trust me, ask your parents also or anyone, the 10th board mark sheets no one asks. It just lies in your file somewhere. And so you need not stress yourself behind this complex exam, not complex, simple exam. Okay, you are worth millions, you're $1 trillion, you are worth trillions of dollars. Okay, your smile is worth that trillions of dollars. Okay, you should not lose that. It's just, as I told you, it's just a challenge. We are preparing you for the challenge called as life. You are just, abhi to you are nanna munna, masoom sa, small kids. Through exams, we try to make you stronger. That's the whole purpose of various exams. And trust me, this is the first exam. Then there will be 12th board, then there will be competitive exams. For getting into engineering college, medical colleges, then after going to college also you'll be facing many exams. Okay, so it's a part of life. So you need not, stress about it. Just as I told you, give more time, you'll be able to do really good. Just give time. If you're feeling stressed, give more time. It's not give you, oh yaar, nahi samajh aa raha, you'll close your books and stay aside. Stud is the guy, who's stud? Stud is the person who studies when he doesn't feel like studying. That's the most important part. Everyone studies when they feel like studying. Okay, but the most important part is to study when you don't feel like studying. Okay, then only you will be a stud. Okay, so yeah, like studying when you feel like studying, that's the easy part. When you do the difficult part, that is studying when you don't feel like studying, then you will be able to, excel. Anything, doing something which you don't feel like doing, that's the most important part of your life. Okay, chalo, I digressed again, sorry. So let's get back over here. So are you able to understand? Organisms reproduce and increase in number, but their number remains constant because many of them die. Why do they die? Because of fight for resources. Say some weak guy is there, but I'll give my food, but yeah. But are you able to follow? I don't want to take that bad example, it's like very ethically wrong. Yeah, okay, so the fight for the resources, then the one which have got good variation survives, the one who has got good variation survives in the nature, and I call them as naturally selected, and the naturally selected one pass on their character to the next generation. Okay, very good. So this is all about Darwin's theory. Okay, now I'll tell you about evidences of evolution. Now, what do we mean by evidences of evolution? As I told you, we are scientists. We believe only on what? Evidences. If evidences are not there, I would say evolution has never taken place. So there are certain evidences of evolution. The first one is what? Homologous organs. What is homologous organ, people? Yes, please tell me. I guess this is basic. Okay, please trust me, this will come for 1 or 2 markers. Okay, homologous, analogous, differentiate between these two. Very simple. Homologous organ, please people tell me. Same basic structure, same basic structure, but different function. Same basic structure but different function. People, you need to mention the example compulsorily for this. Okay, what will you write as example? Yes, 4 limb. What do you mean by 4 limbs? The upper limbs, the 4 limbs. And a horse has this is horse 4 limbs. I will to follow the front wala limbs are 4 limbs. है ना? 4 limbs of human, horse, whale. All of them have same basic structure but perform different function. What do we use? What do we use our hands for? Eating, fighting, है ना? Then what else? Picking, है ना? Lifting certain things. Horse uses it for running. Whale for swimming. Okay, so that is homologous organ. है ना? Next. Okay. What's the next type of organ, people? Yeah. Yes. It is analogous organs. Yes. What is the definition for analogous organ? Yes, who will tell me? Analogous organs, different basic structure but similar function. Different basic structure but similar function. What do I mean by this? Example: wings of birds and butterfly. Have you seen bird का wings? They are very muscular. है ना? Butterfly का cartilaginous. You can just, okay, है ना? It's very transparent, very light butterfly. But what they use the butterfly's wings for? Flying. What do they use the bird's wing for? Flying. है ना? But they have different basic structure but perform similar function. So what does this say? This tells कि organisms have evolved from a common ancestor. Homologous organs also. Everyone had 4 limbs but they started using it differently. We humans started using it for lifting, writing, है ना, grabbing things. Horse was using it for running, so it got evolved that way. Whale was using it for swimming, so it got evolved that way. Okay, so all these things point towards common ancestry. What do they point towards? Common ancestry. Means all horse, whale, lion, tiger, all of us had a common ancestor. Imagine, we all have evolved from common ancestor millions of years ago. Are you able to follow? Yeah. So that is the then let's talk about the third evidence. Fossils. Fossils are the third evidence of evolution. Now what happened over there in fossils? Fossils mein what happened was, what is fossils basically? Yeah, these are dead remains or impression of hard part of animal or plant which got preserved for millions of years. Which got preserved for millions of years. Fossils are what? They are dead remains of plants and animals, or their hard part on, they are hard part of plants and animal which got preserved for millions of years ago. So how do I know what it is? By carbon dating. What happens is, whenever I get a fossil, I do chemical tests on it, and what happens after that? I get to know what year it belongs to. Okay, so that's how I can figure out that this organism was staying 3000 years ago. This organism was present 1 million years ago. So as I told you, we have found Archaeopteryx fossil. It's very important. Okay, it has features of reptile and bird. It has feature of reptiles and birds. Okay, yeah, this was my second evidence. Third and fourth is vestigial organ. Vestigial organ. What are vestigial organs? These are organs which were functional in our ancestors, but they became non-functional in us. They were functional in our ancestors, but they are non-functional in us. For example, you would have heard of nictitating membrane. It's a membrane present over here near eyes. What used to happen is, birds have it. What happens? It closes like this. It's like an eyelid. Eyelid closes like this, but nictitating membrane used to close like this to protect eyes from dust and all. But they are not functional in us. They are already only remnants. Like very little is present over there, but it was functional in our ancestor. One more thing. Appendix. Vermiform appendix, है ना? So what happened over there? This was also part of a digestive system. It was present in our ancestor, but it is non-functional in us. Okay, it was functional in our ancestor, but non-functional in us. And one more thing, the last one. Yes. Embryonic development also gives idea about evolution. You know what happens when we are developing inside our mother's body? We repeat our evolutionary history. How do I get to know that? Because if you see embryo of fish, embryo of bird, embryo of human beings, they all look like same during initial first or 2 months. Able to follow? So we can say that an organism repeats its evolutionary history during embryonic development. Okay, so it is called as ontogeny. Recapitulates phylogeny during what? Yes, during embryonic life of an organism, it repeats its evolutionary history. Okay, so these are the 5 evidences of evolution. What are the 5? Homologous organs, analogous organs, fossils, vestigial organs, and embryonic development. So these are the what? Evidences of evolution. People will just discuss this question. What do you mean by speciation? It is process of formation of a new species. Formation of new species altogether. Okay, say a cat is a species, a dog is a species. So when do I call a new species is formed? When they can interbreed. A dog can breed with a dog only, it cannot breed with a cat. Okay, so a species is an interbreeding population. How is a new species formed? By genetic drift, by natural selection, and various other factors. Say for example, there is a population staying here. Then these people got separated from them. Now they have established a new community over here. They are breeding among themselves. What will happen is over millions of years, it will become a new species. Now initially they were interbreeding, but they now cannot breed with them. Okay, there could be many reasons for this speciation. There is sympatric and allopatric speciation. All these things, I guess this, not there for you, but yeah, just need to know the factors for that. Okay, what are the factors for speciation? Genetic drift, natural selection, DNA gets changed severely, or basically sexual contact is not allowed in the organism. People please remember this 4 point, at least this. Okay, so these are the factors for speciation. Okay, now what are acquired traits and natural traits? Acquired traits are the ones which we acquire during our lifetime. Say a bodybuilder acquires muscles during a lifetime. Can he pass on these characters to his progeny? Or a bodybuilder's son is bodybuilder? No, right? Necessarily not. So acquired characters are the ones which individual picks it over lifetime, and they are not passed on to the next generation. Whereas, what's the other type? Yeah. Whereas inherited traits, the traits which we get from our parents, they are passed on from generation to generation. Why acquired traits are not passed whereas inherited traits are passed? Because acquired traits does not create change in our DNA. They do not change our map, whereas inherited traits are present in our map only, the DNA basically. Okay, chalo, I guess I'll end this session, heredity and evolution. I'm left with the last session, and in that I think I'll be able to discuss some of your doubts, and we'll discuss questions on natural environment also. I guess the topic has very little things to understand, so I'll focus more on explaining certain concepts. And if possible, whatever your doubts you had asked, I'll try to solve them. Okay people, bye bye, take care, stay focused, study hard, give your more time. As I told you, study when you don't feel like studying. Okay, take care, bye bye, have a good day.